Hey guys. So as you can see in the where it says in the title is today's Black Friday. I love Black Friday. I've only really went shopping once, and that was and I don't think I'd want to go all the way out to Macy's at like 6 at night to stand in a line. So one day I got a Macy's coupon, and I went around noon because the coupon was going to expire at 1, and I got a shirt. I got this shirt here. It's one of those shirts that you just sleep in. It's a thermal. It's really a thermal. Um, but I got it as a Black Friday sale, so I'm a little bit proud of myself with that. So as you can also see in the title written down there, it says Seven Deadly Sins. And I know that may seem kind of weird when you see it, but I it's really in reference to a book tag that I want to do. And it was uh, I figured, okay, well, if I specify that it's a book tag, that'll just make the title much too longer, and it's already long enough with Black Friday and Seven Deadly Sins, because I also wanted to include my little Black Friday message. Um, and also talk about my books again, because you know me, I love my books. Um, and some of the ones I'm gonna list you've seen before. I featured them, and I it was created by Bookishly Malaysia. It's Malja. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm putting it right here on the screen. It's I think it's Malaysia, Malaysia. I'm not really sure. If you end up watching this, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably saying your name wrong, and I'm also going to put the link for the original video down there in the description. So the way this tag works is that if you have, I mean, you have the seven deadly sins, and there's questions that are associated with each of them, referring to your books, and you, these books, for the following ones, I've discussed them before. I've featured them, so they're going to be the same. But I will say that in advance, two of the books I don't have, because one was from the library that I read once, and one was I just didn't get it yet, but I might get it for Christmas. Um, so I'm say let's get started. So the first question is in two parts. It's greed, and it's what is your most expensive book and what is your least expensive book. And I don't really know what my most expensive one was. Um, it might have been books I got online, because I might have included shipping and things. Unless that might have been for Amazon, because Barnes and Noble I get free shipping because I'm a rewards member. So I don't think I remember or be able to guess what the um, most expensive one is, but for least expensive, it's An Ocean Apart by Robin Pilcher. I got this at a garage sale, so it was essentially $1. I actually got a few of my books. Some of my books came from Goodwill. I have other garage sale books, but this one I wanted to feature because this is in one of my to read lists. I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I will get to it. It's kind of lengthy though, so in a way I'm kind of dreading it. I have a thing about um, thickness of books, and maybe I'll explain that. I'll save that for another segment. But this is about a man that when his after the death of his wife, um, I'm reading the back of this. He's from Scotland, and he after the after his wife dies, he moves with his kids. He moves to New York, and tries to, it's a um, trying to get over a loss kind of books. Again, since I haven't read it, I'm not 100% sure, but I just judge based on the backs of the books. And so yeah, this was a garage sale book. A few of these were, but I wanted to feature this one. And I just wanted to pause here. You can see I have a drink. I last week I mentioned that I'm gonna be drinking hot drinks and things like that, like hot chocolates and hot teas. But yesterday was Thanksgiving, so we had some sparkling cider. So I just wanted to. It's an apple flavored sparkling cider, and I love sparkling cider. So I thought, I know I said that I'm gonna be having drinks, but I thought well, it's not a hot one, so I thought I'll kind of let this stand in the place of my little drink for the winter and fall season. So the next one is Wrath, and that's an author you have a love-hate relationship with. And I'm gonna say J. Courtney Sullivan. Well, her picture is over here. Um, but because I mean this is Maine. You've seen me discuss this, so you know how I kind of hate this character Alice. I don't say hate. Actually, I will. You have to read the book. And I feel like when I was reading this, I feel like I wanted to be mad at J. Courtney Sullivan, but I don't want to blame her. I just want to. Well, I don't want to see. This is the thing. I don't want to blame her, but I kind of do. And if you're watching this, I. It does. I don't mean it how it's coming out. Um, but I want to. I want to be mad that that you that you killed Daniel, or that she killed Daniel. I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this about you, J. Courtney Sullivan. This is pretty much my struggling with how to answer this question is basically answering it. Because I love this character Daniel, and I really wish he didn't die, and I wanted to blame J. Courtney Sullivan for having him not really die, but be dead because he only comes up in flashbacks, and I just I wanted to be upset with you, I liked the book, and I don't want to be mad at you, but I kind of do. That's I'm just gonna say that my struggling with trying to answer the question is essentially the answer to the question. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. So the next one is Gluttony, and that's what book have you deliciously devoured over and over again? And I'm gonna say N.A. for this because of all the novels that I've read, I've only read them once. I never really read a book over and over again unless it was like a collection of short stories or maybe poetry. And if I if I've ever had one of those books, maybe that might have got rid of in the past. Or but when it comes to novels, I've only read each one once, so I can't really say this for novels. I'm gonna say N.A. for this one. So the next one is Sloth, and that's what book have you neglected reading due to laziness? And I'm going to say The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides. Do you remember when I was talking about when I was doing my murder mystery book tag, and I said that I'd want to choose the character of Mitchell? That was this character. He was one of the three main characters in here. And um, I'm going to be honest here. I did not finish this. I was reading it like 2 years ago or so, but it's a complex book. It's the way it's structured, and um, it's you just have to read it to see it's not really complex. There's no chapters for one thing. There's no chapter one, chapter two. The chapters are they're very very long, and and it's in parts. The book is in parts actually. So I got halfway through and I thought, well, I'll just move on to another book. But I'm promising myself I'm not getting rid of this. I'm gonna still hang on to it. I actually don't get rid of my books, but I'm telling myself that someday I'll get back to this and I'll complete it, and I'll probably have more intellectual feelings about that. Um, so I will get to this, but this is the book that I'm saying that I neglected reading because I admit that yeah, that I only got halfway through it. So the next one is Pride, and that's what book do you most often talk about? So that makes you sound like an intellectual reader. And I'm gonna say The Great Gatsby, and I don't have a copy of this book. I'm including a picture on the side over here, um, because I read that, but I had a specific reason to read that. I'd seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio first, But I had a specific reason for reading The Great Gatsby, and that was because it was going to be it was going to be featured at a book discussion, and I went to a book discussion, and I read, as you can see, I included the movie tie-in version because um, I that's the one I read. I didn't read any other version I read. I wanted to include the one that I read. So the next one is lust, and that's what attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? And I'm going to say this depending on your gender. So I'm going to say for female characters, I like um, I like intelligence, funny, courageous, politeness. I can't think of some examples. I'm just improvising the answers right now. Um, so I'm not gonna think of specific examples, but that's really what I like. Even in real people, I look for that kind of stuff too. So um, I yeah, I like intelligence and with that, but also a sense of humor. So they're not completely brainy, but yeah, if they're nice and kind and things, of course. So the last one is envy, and that's what books do you want to receive as gifts? And I normally don't. If I receive books as gifts, they're nonfiction books. I have some nonfiction. Maybe I'll show you those another time. Maybe I'll dedicate a segment to nonfiction or something. And I sometimes get those. So for this one, I'm saying Yes Please by Amy Poehler, and I tried including a picture here. And I love Amy Poehler. And if you're watching this, I love you, Amy. And I really want your new book. But I asked since Christmas is coming up, I asked Santa for it, so hopefully Santa's gonna get me it, or really by Santa I mean my parents. But so yeah, I'm hoping I get it for Christmas, and if I don't, then I'm getting it. I'm still gonna find it somewhere, and let you know. Um, I mean, you people watching the video, let you know that whether I liked it or not. So hopefully I'll get that one. So that was the Seven Deadly Sins book tag, and I'm gonna write out all the questions and in the description and the link to the original video, which I'm gonna end up mispronouncing it again, but it's by Bookishly Malaysia. And I don't mean the country Malaysia. I don't even know what Malaysia is. I just know it's a country, but I'm putting it right here so you can see how it's spelled out. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. And happy Black Friday.